we're gonna have our first guest on here. Got the chance to meet her. Thank God for social media. You meet a lot of great people on here, and her story is amazing. And I want to emphasize a little bit, but we're gonna talk more about her career and what things she's working on, and all that said and done. So you guys already know. So let's give it up for the one, the only. Let me get her name correct. I got it. The host of the most popular podcast, Miss Popular in the building. Let me get her. Let me get her. I think I see her. Okay. Yes. Hello. Welcome.
Hello, hello everyone. How are you,
Hi.
Vero?
Doing
Hi.
good. Oh, look at you, girl. Yes. I love it. I love it. This is what I'm talking about. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Awesome. I'm happy doing it. I'm happy doing good. Definitely.
Thank
Definitely.
you.
So, you're welcome. So, are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Let's get it. Let's get it. So tell the audience watching now live more about who are you as Miss Popular. I know you have a podcast and you do a couple of things, but those who don't know much about you, on this end, introduce yourself to the viewers.
Okay, well, I am most popular in English. In Spanish, soy la Dama Popular. I am the host of the most popular podcast. I'm also a model. Um, I've done some other things, but right now my main focus is my podcast and hosting.
Gotcha.
Um, I am Hispanic. I'm from born in Puerto Rico, raised in Bronx, New York. BX for day.
Yeah, baby, let's get it.
But I've also resided in other areas of the United States. I lived in the Midwest and Cleveland, and I'm currently now in South Carolina.
Got you. Okay, perfect, perfect. So this one talking about you get to go different places, travel, and you get to just love what you do, and I love that. Yes,
Hmm.
yes, Mara. You right now, yes. So before we yes, before we get started, tell us how did you get the thing? I know you a bit about your background, but those who don't know, how did you come about into the podcast world and also into like modeling and all the things that you mentioned as well on the show?
Okay, where can I start? Well, I guess my journey starts from when I was young. I come from a musical family. You know, my dad, he's a musician, and my mom, she was a cook, and she was also into the arts herself growing up. So I definitely know I got this from them.
Awesome.
um, there's My house was always like the party house. Like there was always noise and just lots of excitement in my house. And I was sort of like the party girl, you could say, in the neighborhood. So I threw the parties in my house. And from that, that's how I got popular and got known. And then when I was 13, I started modeling.
Mm,
It's not something that I wanted to do, but my family wanted me to, model. So I did it to be obedient.
I love it. I love it.
And after that, I just took a different route. I wanted to be more like a career woman. My goal was to be a lawyer, which I'm still inspiring to be an attorney.
Awesome.
Um, and then one day, I don't know what happened. I just was like, I was bored because I'm like, what people say, a jack of all trades. Like, I've done so much. And I'm like, I'm tired. Like, what else am I going to do? Like, and I just had like maybe like like a lifetime breakdown when I hit like 35. And I was like, you know what? I need to follow my passion. My passion is music, dancing, like everything in the entertainment field. And so I started doing music. I started writing music. I moved back to New York in 2021 and I went into like this like a music boot camp with my mentor. And we got in a booth and I wrote some songs and I got my little practice on. And then that's when I moved to the South and I was like, okay, maybe music is not what I need to be doing right now because reality kicked in. I do have two children. They are now, my daughter's 17, my son is 14. I'm like, I need to work. Like, I understand I want to follow my passion, but I still have to be a responsible adult.
Yes. Yeah, I got
Not
you.
discouraging anyone that does music at an older age, because I get it.
Got you.
And so, I just got myself together here. And then from that, I was like, I'm going to start modeling again. I'm going to do something that I know I'm good at, something that looks good on me. So I just took it as a hobby and a way of building my confidence back and, my self esteem. And that's where it started. And then I started meeting people. And then I had to come to a realization like, I like to talk. Like, I've been knew that, but I love to talk.
That's fine. That's fine.
I love to ask questions. I'm very intriguing. Like, just and I'm like, I need to start a podcast. Like that's the best positive way of being nosy, in a good way.
That's fine. That's fine.
So that's how it was, and I was like, I want to share my greatness, and I want to be in the music industry, but I know I don't want to do music. So how can I help? Like, what can I contribute? And I was like, a podcast. I can start interviewing musicians.
I love that.
That's how that came about.
Okay, that's what's so. I love that because I'm very fascinated with the backstory of how like people sometimes it's like you do one direction and then something leads you to something else. And like, you know what? If it's meant to, I'm just gonna go with
I've
it.
been like a ping pong for the past 4 years. I've been a ping pong. I've been doing this, that, this, and I'm like, God, like, what do you want me to do? But it
Right.
all cut. I don't know why, And then I'm also like, I love fashion. I love clothes, and so I at one point I was styling, and then I was designing clothes too. I put that on hold, but
Wow.
in the end, it always brings me back to hosting.
I love it. So
So
it's a blend of everything, which is great because it's multitasking, you can say, but it's great because that's more you can add to that. Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so let's quickly talk about the clothing line, though. You said you were wardrobe stylist at one time, and then you got into
Yeah, so I did design throughout my actually the funny thing, this is a fun fact. People don't know, but the people that know,
okay.
I've been designing since I was young. There's a few people that I designed some items for,
Wow.
but it's like it's weird because I always had it in me, but I never pursued this career because I was just so focused on I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta go to college, I gotta. And so I just put it on hold. Then I came back. I got me my little sketchbook in 2021. I started sketching, and
Yes.
then I just left it on hold.
Oh no.
But that is something that I know I can do. I'm good at it, and I need to put my focus on that because I know I'll be a great designer.
Yes, and I see something there. I'm like, yes, I'm loving it already. Yes, I like the aqua green going on. Yes, I'm loving it. Show it
Thank
off,
you.
girl. Listen, show it. Yes, yes. No, but listen, go for it. If you got time to do it, go for it. Why not? So
It's
that's
not easy. It's not. It's definitely the fashion world is not easy.
yeah. No, but you know what? I mean, you're breaking the barriers. That's the main thing, and that's gonna open so many doors and blessings with that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gracias.
You welcome, Reno. Yes. So you also mentioned about you was one time an artist, or you were tapping into the music industry as an artist. Let's talk about that as well.
Like I think I'm a great writer. I definitely know that I can write music, and I've written about 10 songs. I've only put one of them out. And that song is called I'm Coming to You. That song is not even done for real. I had to go back in the studio and tweak some things because
Okay.
this was literally at the beginning. And I'm not going to lie. And, I know this can be frustrating for other artists who have been doing this for years and have been putting blood, sweat. And then I just come out of nowhere and go in the write a song, go in the studio and just put a song out. No, the song I'm Coming to You, I wrote this song in 2021
Okay.
and I recorded it in 2022 and I just put it out now in 2025. Like
Oh my
literally, like last month I think it was. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna just do it, Nudie. Just do it, and
That's
see
what
and see how people feel. Some people like it, some people ignore it, but I'm confident. I think it's a good song. The song is relatable, but it's more about me and where I stand.
I love that. And that's available all digital platforms. People can support it and
No, not even. I just put it on my social media and I put it on YouTube. And I just want to
what?
see how it flows.
Oh
But I'm
man.
working on that too. I'm gonna get back to the music because even if I don't do it for myself, I want to share this craft of mine with other artists that may need ghostwriters or may need help. Because why not?
I
Hashtag why
love
not?
that. No, I mean like and look, keep it to manifestation. Do it and then just put it out. Officially
Yeah.
out when you're ready for that. But that's
Hmm.
awesome. Congrats, girl. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So prior to, like I said, you done the modeling. You're doing the design as well, designer. The act. Well, actually, you mentioned acting, right? Believe it or not.
Yeah, I did dab into acting. I started doing some acting in 2023.
Okay.
And that's like you said, one thing leads to another, and then you just start rolling, and it's like, oh my gosh. And then, things just started happening in my life, and I just put that on hold, and I just started focusing on other things.
Okay.
Because it was changes were happening in my personal life.
Right. Right.
That's
We will talk about that in a little while. I got you. I got you.
right.
I got you. Okay, cool, cool. So prior to that, like I said, you got a lot of things going on. We're gonna talk about your projects in a few minutes as well. But prior to that, who were your like influences in your life overall? who inspired you into what you're doing
Definitely my dad, Edwin Tapia, like I said, because seeing him being a musician,
now?
he's
Yes.
I mean, like I said, I come from a Hispanic house, he does music too, but he's also like literally like a musician with not drums. He plays the drums, he plays everything, but his main instrument is the bongo. You know what the bongo is? The
Ooh,
bongo? Yes,
yes,
you know? And just
yes.
seeing him, traveling, all the artists and musicians coming into my house, famous people, him, it was definitely inspiring. And it's like, wow, like my dad is a semi-star, My dad grew up in an era when salsa first came out in Puerto Rico, where all the big timers, were coming out. So it's like he knows all of them, they all know him. And that's a lot of things a lot of people don't realize. Like there's a lot of famous people that we don't know, but the famous people know them. The celebrities know them because they're insiders. They were there when things began. And just he definitely inspired me. And my mom too, she's always been my biggest supporter. And she's always pushed me to do everything and anything. And also I have to give it to him, my brother Keith Tapia. He was a boxer. He was a professional boxer. He's one of the best boxer. He was supposed to be the next world champion. Y'all can all look him up. Keith Tapia. He goes by Machine Gun Tapia.
Okay.
He definitely motivated me and pushed me too, because seeing him from a young age, giving up his childhood to go to the gym, running, his dedication, and I'm like, if I seen my little brother do it, and I seen his how passionate he was, I I need to do it, and I just wanted to make my family proud, and
And they
definitely my
are
siblings.
definitely. Definitely. No, and they are, because like you said, you sometimes you gotta be the one to push and motivate yourself. Then down the line when you do the things, like you see all the work you put in, and you're like sometimes you get tired, you get frustrated, and then you don't realize down the line there's others that are watching, your family or friends. You're like, wow, she's doing it, no matter what the circumstance you're going
Yeah.
through, but she's doing it, and you never know who you're inspiring along the way. That's with that.
And not for nothing, but I've always been a role model within my neighborhood, in my friend zones, and my family. I am the oldest in my family, like literally the oldest in my generation. Like I babysit everybody from my cousins to my siblings to everybody else's kids. Like that's, and I've always been like the motherly one.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not perfect. I've had my share too. But one thing I've always done the right thing. At
I
the end of
love
the day, at least I tried.
no. I mean, listen, you're doing it. You're doing it. It just even sometimes you gotta take a break, but you get right back on. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Definitely. Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited. Okay. Yes. All right. So we got a lot. So projects. What things you got going on this year as we speak?
Okay, so right now, I did experience a traumatic incident back in December
Yes.
2024, December 28th. Um, I in I was shot by my ex-boyfriend in front of my children, and he is now deceased. And that put my life in hold and definitely changed a lot of my plans and my role. So, not saying that I'm not going to move forward with the things that I have planned, but because of that happening to me, I had to rearrange a lot of things. And so now I'm on a journey of, you know, getting my mind back right, getting my spirit, just my energy, my motivation, because it hasn't even been 3 months yet, Well,
Yeah.
January, March. Yeah, it's been 3 months. It just hit 3 months, March 28th. And, I may look good, sound good, but it's not gravy. It's AKA it's not good. It's not all good. So right now I am rebranding. That's what I'm focusing on right now. Rebranding myself and figuring out which way I want to go, and how to incorporate everything that happened to me, because what happened to me was something that a lot of other, and what I'm noticing, like a lot of people are going through that uh,
Yes.
lately. Like I don't know if it's because since it happened to me, I'm noticing it more.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I definitely want to become an advocate for domestic violence in the entertainment field.
That's amazing.
Not pushing anybody else out, but I want to mainly focus on that, because this happened to me because I didn't want to speak. I didn't want to mess up his and my reputation. I didn't want to make us look bad. I didn't want people. I felt like we were gonna lose fans and people was gonna look at us weird and blah blah. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of celebrities that go through this and deal with a lot because I'm sure they got a lot more to lose than we did. But it's not right. It doesn't matter who you are or who the other person is. Like, if you need help and you need to scream out, you need to do what you got to do. So yeah, I'm rebranding, and I do have some things in the future coming, but it's
Ooh,
coming. It's coming.
I like to get exclusive here, man. Come on, give me something.
Well, I was already working on this podcast expo. I was having a podcast expo. It was dated for January 5th of
Yes,
2025. So I had to push that back. So I'm gonna be dropping a date soon. I'm gonna continue because I can't let this stop me. The people want it, and the people deserve it. This podcast expo wasn't about me. It was about bringing knowledge to others and everyone that wants to join this platform.
I love that.
So
Listen,
I'm working on that. I'm still working. I also had a fashion show. I produced a fashion show back in November 2024.
no.
And yes, and that is called a celebrity fashion show, which it was going on tour. So I'm planning to go to different states and having this fashion show this year. I'm undecided if I'm gonna go to Cleveland, Ohio, if I'm gonna go to Atlanta, Georgia. I'm not sure yet. Or even New York.
Yeah.
Um, and definitely, I am definitely working on my book. And the book is not really on my life. It's more on the incident, what happened to me, as
Yes.
well as the movie and even a series.
Oh my God.
The
Listen,
series won't be coming soon, but look forward to a movie or the book.
oh my God. Listen, I'm going to applaud you already. Listen,
Thank
I'm
you.
excited. You're already welcome. Listen, I just want to put a quick side note before we continue. I have the honor we talked briefly before we had you on the show, and I'm truly honored to have you on the show. And you never know who you're uplifting or inspiring. I was talking about earlier too, doing what the things you're doing and just other things that you're going through in life, but you kind of keep pushing and being consistent. And I thank you first and foremost to be on my show, and then also what you're doing, which is record. It's amazing. It's amazing, and your story really touched me because I personally went through that. Not to that, but I also am a victim of domestic violence in
Oh
a few
wow. Okay.
many years ago, and it touched me. And I said, "Wow, we need to really have you on and discuss." I don't want to say too much because I respect out of how much you can, but I think for the most part, in general, let's just say that you are a true survivor. You overcame it. You are here for a purpose, even though sometimes things are thrown at us or directions or whatever case may be. But you're here for a purpose, and just remember that. And I think overall, I know there's something you did want me to mention, and out of respect for you, I'll mention that only one time. To that situation that happened to you, the reason, if what was his just motives and his situation, why I got to that point. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a thousand reasons why it led to that, but I'm not gonna get into that right now.
Right.
But
Right.
ultimately, I'm the one that was there living this situation with him. I'm the one that knows what happened and why this happened. And the reason why I don't want to speak on it much, because I don't want to speak and not give details and leave people
Right.
in the air. Although apparently everybody knows what happened and why it happened to me better and more than I do. That's just how life goes. So I'm letting everybody have it for now. But bottom line, I did not want to be with him anymore.
Okay.
And he could not take the fact that I no longer wanted to be in that relationship. And it drove him crazy that although I didn't want to be with him, I was still being cordial with him. I was still being respectful. I was still being nice. And like I would explain, and he would be like, well, if I'm treating you this way and this and that, you don't want to be with me, why are you being nice? That's
Mhm.
my character. That's who I am. I'm not gonna change who I am
Right.
because you feel away. If you're nice to me, I'm gonna be nice to you. If you're mean to me, then I'm gonna be mean to you. But I'm not gonna engage in ignorance and messiness and drama. And that's something that I did not want in my life. And he just could not take the fact that I was quote unquote abandoning him.
Right.
The reality is that he did have mental issues prior to me ever meeting this man. Like, this is a pattern of his. This was not nothing new. I was
Mhm.
not the only victim. But that's what it boiled down to. I did not want to be with him anymore.
Okay. I respect that, and I guess I commend you so much in so many ways. The strength that you have gotten and still have to this day as we speak. I thank you so much for just touching base on that and overcoming it, and your family is strong because you guys are together and united and continue on, even though it's a situation that unfortunately happened. But you guys are still together and you're strong, and that's the main thing. And I commend you again for that.
Yes, and I love my family. I love my children. I love them, especially my kids, because they witnessed it. Like they were standing side by side with me when it happened, because it was close range when it
Um,
happened. And to see them still flourish and, wake up every morning, go to school and get good grades and do what they got to do and be motivated. And, they are going through therapy. They got counseling. I am too.
good.
But I'm very, very proud of them, because they could be different. They could be falling apart, broken. Not saying that they don't hurt or they're not affected by it, but I'm very so proud of my children. Like, I know I did a great job, and my family too. I can't take all the credit. I did raise my kids, but I have a
I-
village. I do. My sisters, my mom, even my dad, even my aunts, my uncles. Like, yeah, my family loves me, and I love my family, and I'm very grateful for all of their support.
Amen. Listen, I'm just very thankful, and listen, you got a testimony, and I just want to let you know, with the book that's going to be out, I cannot wait to get out. And the story, like you mentioned, it will be in due time. The movie or the series, that's going to be amazing because you're going
I'm
to.
looking forward more to that series, because that series is going to
Yes.
give all the juicy details that everybody wants to hear.
Ooh, we're gonna get it. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm excited. All right. Awesome. 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 So we left that situation. We're not gonna touch base on it no more. But I do want to talk about, like I said, you got the other projects going on. You got things you're just working on building yourself again, which is
Yes.
awesome. And you're mentioning also touring. So is there anything else you want to do besides that? Like you said, you do red carpets. I just want to let people know that as well. You do
Yeah.
hosting. You
Well,
have
I will be coming back to my red carpet August 27th.
27. Okay.
Excuse me, April 27th. I don't know why I keep saying calling April
Yeah,
August.
I said August early, so I was like, wait a minute.
You right? I think it's the A. I don't know. Maybe it's the
I'm like, wait a
April,
minute.
Abril
Yes.
27th is a Sunday in Georgia. I mean,
Okay.
shout out to Rock NYC. He's from Bronx, New York as well, but he's down in Georgia doing his big thing. He's a hostess too. He does a lot of amazing things, and he's having like a red carpet media slash fashion show event, and I'm honored to be hosting my red carpet there. So I'm excited. Saturday I will be going to Charlemagne's Black Expo too. To get some knowledge on, I've been wanting to go. This is the third annual, so I'm excited for that. I
Awesome.
have some other individual interviews lined up, because other than my red carpet, I do individual interviews. I got a few more things coming. Just yesterday I did my rebrand shoe, which I was so excited about. That
Yes. Especially like the weather's getting nice now, so like, yeah.
yes.
Start listen. Start putting it out. Start putting it out. Listen.
Step by
Awesome.
step, little by little. It's not easy. Every time I get excited and I want to do something, I'm not gonna lie. I push myself back, because I'm going through anxiety right now. I am. The depression is not on high, but it's declining a little bit. But once I'm down, it just comes back up. It's not easy. It's not.
I know, and
It's
that's
very
why
traumatic.
I wanted to talk because you mentioned some of that already with the healing process. That's why I want to ask you next about that. Like, what was your going through? I don't want to touch too much about it, but
That's
when
okay
do
though.
you? Okay, all right. So the thing that like the incident you went through, and now that you're overcoming it, and it does take time. It's not overnight. What things, if you don't mind discussing about, like you mentioned, depression and other situations that, you're going to therapy and that's helping. But I think people want to know about that too because we never know who's going through that or are going through it, and what can you help them with your advice with that as well from the healing process.
I definitely would advise anyone who's going through any traumatic situation like this is to stay grounded with people that love you and care about you. Negativity, do not be around that. Like, X that out. If drinking is, I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I didn't do any of that. But if drinking is something that is no good for you, and then you go to that while you're going through something, really work. Try not to drink. Try not to use any drugs. Like, try to stay positive. Like, conversate, watch movies, read a book, like, stay engaged in things that are positive, and put yourself first. And the slightest thing, like, don't hold back and say, oh my God, I'm gonna feel bad at a moment like this. There's no time for you to feel bad for somebody else. There's no time for you to feel like, oh my God, if I act like this, then they're not gonna love me. They're not gonna care about me. They're not gonna want to mess with me. There's no time for that. There's no filter. There's no bound. There's boundaries. There are limitations, and it's okay. It's okay. Definitely stay occupied.
Yes, yes. Let me tell you something. That has helped a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yes, but I want you to also, if you don't mind, because express the fact that it's okay if you're going through those days, those dark days they call it, right? Where you facing certain things, and like I have PTSD as well, and it's let people know that when people go through certain situations, it's not their fault, because the thing where I also went through was blaming myself, like it was me that this and that, and with therapy they showed me that you don't blame yourself for something that happened to you out
Mhm.
of your control, in essence. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say this right now, and I'm gonna say this very proud. Let me pick my chest up when I say this. I
Yes.
do not. I repeat, I do not feel guilty for what happened in my situation.
Yes,
And the
ma'am.
reason why I don't feel guilty because I'm really a victim. I was framed. I was lied on. I was tortured. I was abused. I went through so many things that a lot of people, especially in my life, wouldn't even believe it because and I'm known as to be this tough, brave person. And
Yeah.
that's what people when they
Oh,
look at me, that's what they remember, that's what they know. But what people don't realize, time over time things changes. People mentality changes. Like who I was when I was 14, when I was 18, even when I was 25, is I'm 38 years old now. I'm gonna be 39 years old. And it comes a time where people do learn from their mistakes, they
yes.
change, they want a different life. And if I would have kept and not saying that I was in dabbing in negative what you call it illegal stuff or anything like that, but I know my character,
Mhm.
I would be in prison by now.
Ooh.
I know that. Yes, I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna keep it. I'm be very honest
No, go ahead,
because
please. You can curse your mother
I
with
was a
you.
fighter. I was tough. I'm ready to
Yes.
whoop butt. I don't care. Get out my face. It's on and popping. That's it. That's all I. That's all I do. And
Okay.
like I said, it comes a time where you gotta realize, okay, this is not what I want. You gotta grow up. I have kids, and I didn't raise my kids the way that I was raised. And I say my parents raised me wrong, but I had a lot of freedom. I was outside. I was fighting. I was rowdy. I was all of that. Especially in New York,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
it comes with the territory,
Yeah.
the
So
environment.
I raise my kids totally different. And when they're young, a lot of parents get away with a lot of things when your kids are little, especially if you shelter them and keep things away from them. But eventually they grow and you can't hide, that saying in Spanish, no puedes tapar el sol con la mano. You can't hide the
Ah,
sun
yeah.
with your hand. So I knew that I had to, okay, shape up and get it together because I don't want that for my kids. I
No.
want them to have a healthy, nurturing environment. So no, I don't feel guilty at all for what happened because that should have never happened.
Right.
And I could have walked out of that situation earlier because I know a lot of people asking this question, but why was you there for so long? Why was you doing it? But if you've been in my situation, like you said, it's
Mhm.
easier said than done. And it's not as simple. We didn't have any kids, but we had a lot of other connections, and I want to say this, but I don't want people to kill me for this. Like he was a good man to me. I can't sit here and just bash him. He was, he cherished the ground I walked on. I did, but his what he had going on, like I said, way before me,
Right.
it was bigger than what I can do for him.
I understand. And
So yeah,
yeah, I guess, and I commend you again because the strength and courage you have, and it's not easy. Trust me, I could relate so many ways what you're going through, and I still fighting my demons with that. Even all the years I went through that, so I
wow,
so relate to that. And like I said, you're doing a healing process now. You're getting the therapy. The kids are getting therapy, which is great. And you guys could talk about this, on your own private time. What's happening and how you guys are managing it. That's the word I'm trying to find here. But
well,
managing it,
I'm glad you said that. Definitely talk about it. Don't
yes,
put it in the back burner and try to
yes,
pretend like it didn't happen. Talk about it. Like discuss it. I know it's not easy, but if you hold it in, what's gonna come from that? You're gonna explode.
exactly. Yeah. Like I said, I just can't wait till the series comes out and the book and all that good juicy stuff. I just can't wait. We're gonna be watching. But girl, did you? Girl.
The people deserve to know what happened. You know,
Yes.
I'm not crying victim either, but I was a victim. But like I said, this happened to me because I was trying to avoid this. I did not want this spotlight. I didn't want this drama. I don't like being in people's business, and I don't like people in my business. And if you're gonna be in my business, because I'm gonna put you in it, because I'm lashing out and I'm acting a fool, you know. And I try not to do that because I just don't want no problems. I'm trying to, elevate.
I know, Mom. Listen, it's part of life, but you're doing it, and that's the main thing. You're overcoming it, and you're a beautiful woman and a queen as it is.
Thank you,
And
thank
like I said, you're welcome, girl. Listen, and I know firsthand, the things we got to go through with dealing with these situations, and don't let it stop you. If anything, just motivate you to continue on with great more things to come.
I mean, I get down, I cry at least 3 times a day. I do. You know, it's not easy. I feel confident, I feel good, and then a song comes on or a movie, the slightest thing, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm down again. You
Aw.
know, it's a process. The PTSD is hitting me now, 3 months later. It's weird because the more time is going, the harder it's getting. I don't know why, but I think it's more like me. I was in shock, I'm thinking, and now I'm coming out and I'm realizing like, okay, this is real. Like this really happened.
Mhm.
Crazy.
It takes time. It does, and I think sometimes you just like you said, the realization's coming out to it now. Where when we go through a grief, it's like the denial. You know how it is, the whole thing, aggression and all that other stuff. But then you realize to sit back. You know what? It happened, unfortunately, but you are here for a reason, and I always say that. So continue on what you're doing, and you know what? Even though it's unfortunate, but you're here, and use that as motivation for to help other people like you mentioned. And I want to talk about that too as well. You said you want to be an advocate for survivors. I don't call them victims, survivors of the
Yeah.
situation. Definitely with the entertainment. So let's talk more about that. Like what things you want to kind of like do with programs or
Well, I do want to open up a non-profit organization. You know, these are things like I said, I was already working on these things, but now even more so with more reasons, different resources now. But I definitely want to open up a nonprofit organization. You know, I want to open up a program that includes everything. I want to go out and do speeches. I want to become a speaker for sure. I want to just teach techniques. I want to tell people my story. I just want to beg everybody, please don't do it. Just
yes,
listen to me.
definitely,
Let
definitely.
it go. Is the money, the fame, none of that is worth it. It's just not.
So
It's
true.
not.
So true. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, man. And like I said, we need more people like yourself to open up and help others because we know it is they call it like a silent what's the word for it? It's like a silent thing, like we don't really talk about it, especially in any kind of field. It's not only entertainment, but also all types of fields. And I think we need to talk more about this matter.
And
And
this is not just for women. There's men too. You know, I've been seeing a
yes,
lot of videos on Facebook of these women beating the hell out these men, and they just. First of all, me personally, I cannot just be a man and just boom, 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 and then I'm
right,
just recording it like, man, move, go, call the police, do something. Like,
right, right.
women are not that innocent either, you know.
Exactly. Exactly. No, you're right about that. But all right. So again, projects you're working on the rebranding. I'm excited. I can't wait till you got other things coming up. This year. Just keep working on it. More things to come. You mentioned again, not August, April. April.
Right? Yeah.
I want to make sure.
April.
Okay, so you said April 27th, right? That's the next. You're bringing part of the red carpet. Yes.
Yes, April 28th. Yes.
28th. That was scripted date. See, well, we're getting the days right now.
Yes, I'm working. I'm like I said, I'm working on other things. I'm working on promotions, different events. You know, I'm trying to brand out in New York too. I have some music showcases that I'm going to be hosting out there too, which I'm very
Awesome.
excited to come home because I feel like it's time. I've been in the South and I love everything that I've been doing here. I love everybody and everybody that's been, by my side. But it's time for me to, start coming home.
This is nothing wrong with that. And because the weather is good now, supposedly it's in between. But when it gets nice out, you're like, yeah, I wanna be out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So do you have any shout outs you want to give?
Yes. I
Go
want to
ahead.
give definitely there's a lot of people. You know, like I said, I want to give a shout out to everybody in Columbia, South Carolina. You know, whether if you spoke negative on me or spoke positive on me, thank you for speaking about me. At the end of the day, you know how they say, you ain't popping, you ain't got no haters.
Right, you're making you popular. Like, hey, this is big
Right.
we popping. You like,
You, but I want to say thank you to everybody in South Carolina that played the slightest role in, in my career, because they embraced me. It's hard being from New York in the South, okay?
ooh, I heard. Yeah.
Especially a woman, and especially a woman like me, who I'm dark skinned, but I'm Hispanic. I'm speaking Spanish, and then I'm from New York. Then it's just I'm very people are very confused with me. Like, who are you? What are you? And I'm like, I'm a human being. You.
I mean, okay. No, they think I'm Chinese. So I go, no, and you know what I mean? I like, hey, bro, fried rice,
So
whatever.
you know what that feels like,
Yeah. It's
So
all
for
good.
sure, want to give them a shout out. Especially my team now, like the photographer that took my pictures, my stylist, this Spice Vibe Agency, Ladarius Himline, he's a designer. My hairstylist that did my hair, did my makeup yesterday.
Love it.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of musicians. There's a lot of people here, especially people that pay the wave here for me. Some designers, and I'm not gonna say everybody's name now, but they know who they are. Everybody that gave me an opportunity to be on their platform or put me in a position to help me grow, I am very grateful for them, and shout outs to them for
I
sure.
love that. You heard it first here, people, all right? the show.
Because
So,
one thing I don't do, I don't bite the hand that feeds me. I
I
don't.
love
You don't
that.
do that. Even if you don't like me, it is what it is. I'm gonna still give you your respect and your flowers, and
I
I'm gonna
love
move. And I'm gonna move on.
exactly. And you just got to keep pushing. Yeah, like you said, just you take it as a lesson, keep going. Going
Yes.
as a lesson. Yeah, that's so prior to that, before we sign out of here, any last words you want to give, or any advice, or anything in general that you want to give to the those watching right now?
Um, I just want everybody to know that I am okay. What I went through was not easy, but I'm gonna get through it. And again, thank you to everybody that has prayed for me, that has been there for me, that keeps pushing me and motivating me. From friends to family to anybody and everybody, they know who they are. And and for those who I've not come encounter with, and have not had that one-on-one, I don't have nothing. That's another thing I want to make clear. I don't have nothing personal against anyone, not even people that have spoken negative about me, because they're the ones that have the problem with me. I don't have a problem with you. I don't even know these people, and
Right.
people are going to talk. That's just how life is. But I just want to let everybody know that I am okay. I am appreciative, and I got to keep going. I'm going to keep going, and I don't mean to offend anyone. I'm not happy about nothing that happened. I'm hurting besides me being angry, because I am angry, because hello, who's not? I'm also I have that other side, because I was in a relationship with him. So there is the vulnerability of missing him, being sad that happened to him. So definitely that, I know, families on the other side are not happy, they're going through it too. And also importantly, there was somebody else that lost their life in the mix of all of this.
Yes.
It was an innocent bystander. So if his family ever sees this, I just want them to know that I am truly, truly sorry. Definitely is not what we intended for it to happen. I know that that was an accident. I don't know what was going through the person's head that was driving that caused this at that moment. But me knowing him, like, I just want to clarify that part. I don't think it was purposely done. But my condolences again, and I'm truly sorry that a lost one was lost. A loved one was lost.
Definitely. And I again, I can't stop saying I commend you so much. You don't know the strength you have until you start looking back in the situation, and you're looking back at the strength, and to see that, no matter what in life, whatever throws that way, no matter what it is, I think you just got to take it and just keep pushing no matter what. And like I said, your family is a great support team you have right now. Your kids, focus on that. You're getting the mental health part. You're getting the therapy. You're getting the resource that you guys need right now. Focus on that and continue on your mission and your brand rebranding, as you mentioned, on events and things. That's the main cause. That's the main thing. You're here for a reason. You're here for a purpose. You know, God didn't fail you yet. You're still here. So, like, I can't keep stressing this enough. I
I
can
know,
keep
I know.
stressing. You know what I mean?
I check to that. I check.
Yes, yeah. So, you know, and like I said, you are here for a reason. Continue on what you're doing. Use as motivation to motivate other women and men, like you mentioned, and also families, because also families will also be affected by this matter with domestic violence.
Yes.
So
And
it's
you know, and especially for families that feel like, you know, they're butting in, they're trying, they're talking, they're arguing. And we understand like family wants what's best for us and our friends, but you gotta understand it's like we're the ones going through this. And it's like you don't know until you go through it, you know, and I'm not wishing this on anybody, but we appreciate everybody in our ear, but it's just easier said than done, you know.
so true. So true. And a lot of times I have to just add this too also. You know, a lot of times when our friends be like, girl, why don't you just leave him or leave her? And you're like, no, it's more than just that. People don't understand this the psychological, it's the emotion, it's the attachment, it's just so much things you guys build together. So I hear when people do that and they're like, they just like quick throw it in your face. Like you're like, no, you gotta
Yeah,
understand.
I've never been that friend. And my friends, anybody from my past, my future to my present, I've never been the type to tell another person, leave him, leave her.
Right.
No, because you don't do that. You know, you listen, you may give your advice, your opinion if they want it, but you don't involve yourself and take it personal.
Very
It's
true.
just not worth it because in the end you end up looking wrong. You know how that
So true. Oh my God. Listen,
goes.
I have seen some stuff like back in the days. You know, I had movies and something like that. I'd be like, they're crazy. They don't know what you're going through. It's you know
But
what I mean?
don't get too invested. Now, if I'm there and your boyfriend is beating you up, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I might jump in, try to stop him, might get a little punch in. So that's
Right.
different. But other than that, like I'm not gonna be so invested where I'm getting in it, you know, because you gotta figure it out. You know, I'm here for you, but you make your decision in the end.
Very true. Very true. Oh man, I want to thank you. Before we go, I also want to get your social media. But before we do that, we have a few people on here checking in right now. We got Ray, my boy, checking in. He puts hearts. I think us glasses or 100 something.
Oh, thank you, Ray Res Neil Jr.
He's like, hey. I hope I get this name right. Like I can't say it right. Forgive me.
La Gordy J.
Okay.
Hey.
Yes, I was trying to
That's
figure
my
out like,
nickname, Nudie. That's my name. I have two
oh,
nicknames, Nudie
okay.
and Nunu. That's what I go by. So.
Oh, nice. I was like, okay. I was like, let me just double check on this. I don't want to. I don't want to mess the name up. And they said, come back to New York.
Oh, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it.
You never know, man. You never know. And this is the first for everything here.
Yeah.
But you already know, man. Listen, you ever in New York? Let me know. Because I'm in New York too, so it's crazy out here. But y'all too sorry, me, huh? I
Shout out
see
to the
it.
NYC, but BX all day.
And y'all too sorry.
Right. And definitely, I want to get a shout out to my Spanish, my Latino people. Of course, I am Afro Latina, born in Puerto Rico, and I'm from Santurce, born in
Yeah.
Rio Piedras. My mommy's from Guaynabo, you know, but sí, soy hispana, hablo español. Me crié hablando español, aprendí inglés a los 14 años por ahí, you know, ahí es que yo
Ooh,
fui.
you better than
Yeah.
me, my Spanish shit.
No, yo soy hispana del corazón. You know, y voy a empezar a entrevistar en español, so también estoy alegre por eso porque voy a brincar. So I'm
Yes.
very excited because I'm
Crossing
transitioning
over.
to the Spanish world. So
Yeah.
yes, that's something else that's coming soon.
Oh, we got the exclusive. I got it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy. Yeah, listen, it's great because you get to expand more with that. So that's really good.
Yeah. Well, I want to
Definitely.
say thank you for having me on your show. It has been a pleasure. This was fun. I
Oh,
appreciate your grace and your humbleness and the way you took your time with me. I truly, truly appreciate that. So, yes, thank you. You were
you
great.
no, girl, you already know. And I know anytime. You already know. You this is home. So you anytime when it come, I'm hanging out with the clouds or something behind me. But your mother will.
Okay.
Yes, and then okay, she just said Elizabeth. So I don't
Yes,
know.
I know. That is my childhood friend. I love her so
Oh,
much. Yes,
okay,
her name is Elizabeth. We call her Liz. We can
got
also call her Yesenia. But that is a day one right there. Her right there. That's my day one.
oh, that's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about.
Elementary school, middle school. Yep.
Oh my God, that's a throwback.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I love her. Shout out to República Dominicana.
yeah.
Dominican.
Wepa. Yes, yes. Also, before anything, tell them your social media where they can find you.
Yeah, so my Instagram is Dama Popular. You can also type in most popular podcast and I will pop up. This is my logo, most popular podcast right here.
Love it, love it.
You can find me on Facebook as most. I have two pages: most popular podcast, which is my media page, and then I have my personal page, which is Nudaira Tapia, which is my real name, Nudaira Tapia. Love you too. Love you too. I love everybody,
Yes,
man.
oh, you saw. Okay, yeah.
On TikTok, I'm La Dama Popular, also LADAMA, the word popular.
Awesome.
I don't have too many, and then on my YouTube page is very important. It's most popular, the number one, and then podcast. I had to add the number one because when you type in most popular podcast, obviously a whole bunch of
Yeah,
popular podcasts pop up.
because I was trying to look and I said, damn, that's a lot of people. I don't like how many people are there?
Because what it does is like the popular podcasts come up, you know. So it's most
Oh,
popular, number one,
okay.
and the number, not the word, and then podcast, and I'll pop up. But I
Oh,
also have my page. My
okay.
link is also on my bio, so you can also find me there too.
I get bueno. Awesome, awesome. And like people listen, support her, check her out. She got a lot of great content, a lot of more things coming up. I got more people coming up right now. I just show that real quick.
That's my mom. Maria Cruz is my mom. Mommy, I love you. Bendición. Te amo tanto, mommy. She's
I'm
the
like
best
that.
thing.
This is what I'm talking about right now. We getting like we getting everything today. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is amazing. This is amazing. But like I said, yeah, support her, please. Check out her amazing content, her podcast, everything. Hit her up, guys. Listen, support. I always tell people, oh, felicidades, she said. I always tell people support is it's there. Just share, comment, whatever you want to call it. It's accessible for everyone. So listen, support, and I just can't stress that enough. And again, I want to thank you as well for coming on here and being an amazing person and who you are. And don't ever forget that. You know, if any day nobody told you, you're welcome, mommy. You're welcome. If nobody ever told you they care, love you, I'm saying here besides your family here. I love
You
you.
make me cry.
I don't know
I'm
you, but
very sensitive.
listen, está bien. You're good. But you know what? You are loved, and just always remember that. Even though you have went through something, a very dire situation not too long ago, but you are here and you have a purpose and you are loved. Just let you know that.
Thank you, and I love you too, Vero. Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me.
Girl, you got a heart from New York. You already
This
know.
this heart goes to everybody in the U.S. all over the world. Everybody who has heard my story, because I'm telling you, I went viral. In some places, I am dead, but I am not deceased. I'm here. I'm alive. Thank
Así es.
you to God and the Santos and everybody else.
Así es. Allá tú sabes, mija. Así es. You already know people are not jumping in. Like, wait a minute. I think she means laughing, right? I'm
Yeah.
okay. I was like, what the haha thing?
Ha ha, riéndose. My mom is funny too. And also for those, I'm sorry, I just want to give her shout outs too. My
No,
mom,
go
she does
ahead.
she does readings, she does live readings on her TikTok page, TikTok
Oh
account.
shit.
So if you want to get free readings or if you want to pay whatever, make sure you hit her up. Maria Cruz, she goes by the Witch06 on TikTok. She's really good. She's a healer too. So yes, we do. And it's all positive, nothing negative. So if you're looking for those type of things, we can direct you. We can also show you the way to the people that do, but that's not where we're doing right now. We just do readings, live readings. And if you want a personal reading, she does that too, but you gotta pay though.
You know me. Come on, that's their time. You know what I mean? I respect that. Listen, ain't no regret. Listen, you gotta hustle. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I mean, but this is more personal. You know, my mom has helped so many people in this field. You know, she doesn't do it only for the money. Like, she's very gifted, and I love her and I respect her for that. So I'm very proud of my mom, Maria Cruz. Estoy bien orgullosa de ti, mami, because she has helped so many people in so many ways. And I just feel like she hasn't been, people. A lot of people don't commend her, don't give her credit like she deserves it. But, mami, sigue, que va bien.
Oh man, she is blowing it up. I'm loving it. Listen, we need more of this energy right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, blessings, mija, blessings. Yeah, y'all too sorry, mija. Like we just living it up right now. We just live right now, chilling right now, watching us on YouTube Live, guys, Facebook Live, and also on Twitch. If you guys support us, check us out. We're all available there right now on the show. So you guys already know. But I want to thank you again. Thank you so much for coming on here. You are an amazing individual. Like I can't stress that enough. But just keep doing what you're doing. Keep the fight. And keep on advocating, and just more things to come. Hello? She was just there. What happened? What just happened? Hello?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
a clocking. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. It's like
No,
everybody
I was
knows
like,
that I'm doing an interview right now. They know I'm doing this, but they still call.
right.
I don't know. People just,
And
you know,
you know
people are
what's
very
crazy? It's like,
demanding.
no, it's, I mean, you know, sometimes like that when you know nobody calls you when you're not doing nothing, and then when there's something, it's like
Yeah.
nonstop.
But no, you know, I know it's probably overdue. So I just want to say also thank you to your followers and your supporters that's also watching me. I want to say thank you to them too. Blessings to everybody, even the ones that don't know me who's watching me. Blessings to you, and I appreciate your support too.
Thank you so much. You already know, like I said, anytime you want to come back and when the series is out, the book, listen, I would love to have you back on and anything else you got going on prior after April.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the biggest shout outs go to you. Shout out to Vero G. Hey.
Gracias, mija, gracias. Thank you. Tú también.
Thank you for having
Ay,
me.
mija, gracias. You're
All
welcome.
right.
Anytime. You already know.
Bye.
All right, we out of here. Take a break. All right,
Yes.
everybody. Bye, bye, bye. We in there. All right, we out of here. Oh, awesome, guys. That was an amazing guest we just had right now. She goes by again, the host of the Most Popular podcast, Miss Popular. Go check her out, support her. An amazing spirit, beautiful person.